A new race has joined the space station. They are called Arachnids. A very quick breakdown of Arachnids is they are a race that is generally a little bit faster. They have two web slots that act like pocket slots. However, they don't have a exosuit storage, or they can't put things like oxygen tanks on their hard suits. They have a different punch, as in their punch does slash, 3 units of slash and 1 unit of poison. And they are more affected by getting damaged. They'll slow down at they have more considerable slowdowns upon taking damage, but you do have to be kind of near death now for that to really even matter. So realistically, they're just a really fast race that takes slightly more damage from blunt and heat, but they are somewhat resistant to slash. But yeah, cool new race, adds some nice visual variety. Brigmedic has received some more attention. They have gained items like the armored medical gown, which they spawn with, which is a fairly resistant lab coat, at least to piercing. It's not as good as like a Kevlar vest, but yet again, their primary purpose isn't combat. Their sprite looks the sprite was definitely updated as well. They have even have their own Brigmedic backpack, and I could just open this up and go through some of the stuff. Like the hard suit lost a cross because it was violating the Geneva Convention, which is always an interesting one in games. Uh, and there's just some other minor things added too as well. Like they have the Brigmedic beret, and yeah, I mean just some cool new sprites for them. I'm not going to cover every little minor thing, but it is definitely worth mentioning that the Brigmedic is still receiving a lot of attention. On the medic side still, a new job was added to the game, the Paramedic. Now they are primarily just a paramedic, and what that means is they are a medical doctor who automatically starts with external access. They also have a PDA that can scan people's health quicker because they're meant to be saving people that are most likely in critical condition. And due to that, they start with a locker that gives them access to the Void suit, which is a suit that is ready to go into space. And since you start with external access by default, you are on round start able to go into space and save people that are potentially dead out there, or just in precarious situations like space rooms. Either way, it's a new job, it will help medical out a lot, and might potentially save your life in the future. Pills are now destructible, speaking of medical, so it does not take very much to destroy a pill, and if you're physically breaking a pill, it is likely that the chemicals will actually spill on you. And due to the fact that they are destructible, if chem ever gets bombed, it will absolutely destroy all the pills. Bananium was added to the game, and basically it's just bananas as a resource. It can be used to make various things like bananium floors or bananium walls or bananium doors, and you get the point. So now you can even make things like this. And yeah, it takes a little bit because I can imagine building out of bananas isn't very easy. You can now lock your syndicate uplink by simply resetting the ringtone, and even added this little message saying operators must lock their uplink after use to avoid detection. All you do is you get your ringtone for your uplink, which mine's ADEE, and if you click set, look at that, you lose the uplink option. It's also definitely worth mentioning that you should hide your ringtone anyways after you're done with it. So just a little heads up. And while we're here, a new implant was added called the Uplink Implanter. The Uplink Implanter stealthily order equipment without the need for a PDA. Swallow telecrystals to top up the uplink. If I buy the Uplink Implanter for 4 TC, inject into myself, on the left side of your screen, you'll have the option for your uplink, and when you open it, it comes with no TC. But what you do is you just withdraw all your TC, and like I said, you have to swallow it. And what that means is you just click it on yourself, and it'll say the telecrystals insert in your implant. Now you have a completely hidden implant that can be used at any time to purchase. So even if somebody steals your PDA, it doesn't matter. You will have these telecrystals stuck inside you with 16 TC if you didn't spend any. Flashbangs actually emit light now. As you can see, there's an actual flash of light. The major benefit of that is A, it looks cool, which is pretty important, obviously. But B is that if somebody's detonating in your hand, you no longer have to just be like spam clicking, seeing who actually has the flashbang in their hand, because you'll just see, oh, there's the center of the flashbang, and you'll see exactly who's blowing up flashbangs in their hand. So it adds an actual mechanical usage as well as just looking cool. The laser and scanning module machine parts have been removed from the game. So upgrading machines and building machines has been simplified. So now the only things that are left are matter bins, capacitors, and manipulators. So this simplifies machine upgrading and making machines, and should hopefully encourage more machine upgrading, as you don't have to carry around 5 parts just in case you're trying to upgrade things on the fly. It also helps with memorization because things would just take less. And yes, cost of everything has been readjusted because those parts are missing and obviously have been updated to take the old parts now. And last but not least, a new dangerous event has been added to the game. The name of the event is Slime Spawn, which, yeah, I mean, the name of it itself is not that important, but you're never going to actually see it. So when they spawn, there's no message, but what ends up happening is a bunch of these multicolored slimes will spawn, and you can even hear some of them. They make very distinguishable sounds, and there's 3 types of them. They will hunt you down. They are quite fast, and they do different types of damages when they hit you. But they're not the hardest thing to avoid. As you can see, I killed one. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that their death animation is somewhat it's not super noticeable. Currently, blue, yellow, and green slimes. And with the event, they are automatically hostile. So just a new threat to look out for. And thankfully, they, like I said, they are very noisy, so you'll know they're coming. But yeah, I wouldn't mess with them too much. If you don't have a decent weapon and you don't have somebody to help you, they could definitely mess you up without body armor, so got to be careful out there. And that is all I will cover for this week. Having a new role is really cool, and having a new type of event is also cool. Every event adds a lot of variety to each round. I will slowly scroll through the changelog so you can read the things I didn't cover. Oh my god! Jesus! Also, having a new species added is really cool as well, and they've been getting adjusted over time. And yeah, I wanted to thank all of our maintainers and contributors for keeping the game up to date with all the new content and bug fixes and keeping everything playable. That is it for now.